We've previously examined a couple of Russian efforts to develop small arms-based anti-drone weapons, including the single-shot shotgun insert for the GP25 underbarrel grenade launchers. And in the future we'll examine efforts to develop an anti-drone shotgun muzzle device, which is now in production with several Russian companies. All of these efforts have one thing in common. They are seeking to turn the individual soldier's rifle into a weapon capable of countering the enormous drone threat they're facing. In this video, we'll examine perhaps the simplest attempt at creating a counter-drone ammunition that I've come across so far. While a number of Russian companies have developed specialist shotgun ammunition for increasing the probability of shooting down drones with 12-gauge shotguns, there's been no official or commercial efforts to develop an anti-drone 5.45 by 39mm rifle round. The efforts examined here all appear to be localized, with the concept disseminated via social media. In early July, a video of a Russian combatant making homemade Buckshot cartridges for their AK-74 pattern rifles was shared. The quoted caption read, "To combat annoying drones, our soldiers are remaking AK cartridges by inserting Buckshot charges in them in a dielectric heat shrink." In the video, the Russian combatant demonstrates filling a length of electrical wire insulation sleeving with ball bearings, pushing them in with what appears to be a tent peg. He uses a candle to heat shrink the sleeve around the ball bearings, and then takes a 5.45 cartridge with the projectile pre-extracted and places the ball bearings into the cartridge case, down on top of the propellant inside. He then heat shrinks the exposed ball bearings and hand crimps the case neck around them. Since the July video, I didn't come across any imagery showing the Buckshot until November, when the interest in the concept seems to have increased, with a flurry of posts on Russian Telegram channels discussing the manufacture of the rounds and their pros and cons. The first of the second wave of posts came on the 12th of November, with a Telegram channel sharing a photograph of two Buckshot 5.45 cartridges alongside two sleeves of 7 ball bearings. The post makes some interesting observations, suggesting alternating the loading of the magazine with Buckshot and tracer rounds. The post also mentions that the 4.5mm diameter of the shot is smaller than that of the barrel, and that this will likely impact accuracy, though I suspect this is just one of a number of factors that will impact the effectiveness of the rounds. The post also notes that the plastic sleeving is likely to gum up the barrel's rifling, which will in turn impact the accuracy of the rifle and could lead to catastrophic fouling. The post concludes by suggesting, while the idea is flawed, if you don't have a shotgun available, the improvised Buckshot is better than nothing. 2 days later, on the 14th of November, a video showing the assembly of a Buckshot round, identical to those seen in the previous photograph, was shared. A Russian combatant fills a cable sleeve with 7 Crossman 4.5mm or .177 ball bearings. First, he uses a pair of pliers to pull the projectile from the cartridge case. Then he takes 7 ball bearings and inserts them individually into the sleeve. He heat shrinks it with a lighter and then puts the shot into another slightly wider piece of sleeve, which he then also heat shrinks. Then he hand seats the shot in a standard 7N6 cartridge case and uses a pair of pliers to crimp the case neck. On the 16th of November, the first video claiming to show the Buckshot in action was posted. The clip begins with a drone feed showing a lone Russian combatant in a trench system, before cutting to helmet camera footage showing the combatant firing up at a passing FPV drone. He appears to successfully clip one of the drone's rotors. It's worth noting that the footage may have been filmed at a training range, and it's difficult to confirm that the Buckshot ammunition was actually being used here. Alongside the video, they posted a photograph of a magazine loaded with the Buckshot. The post's caption again recommends alternately loading the magazine, this time with a sequence of ball ammunition and Buckshot, claiming that this sequence allows you to fight air targets as effectively as possible. On the 18th of November, the same channel shared a short post explaining how the Buckshot cartridges are assembled and what is needed. The post shows the same photograph that was shared on the 12th of November and goes on to suggest using Buckshot with a mixture of tracer when firing from vehicles and standard ball ammunition when on foot. Another Russian channel uploaded a pair of videos on the 29th of November, one video showing the assembly of a Buckshot cartridge and another demonstrating the round. The first video shows several individuals in a workshop assembling the Buckshot cartridges. Several individuals are working on different stages of the assembly, with one feeding the shot into the plastic sleeving, another using a heat gun to shrink form the sleeving, while another is pulling projectiles from 5.45 by 39mm cartridges, and finally another is cutting the sleeve of shot to length, which appears to be about 6 ball bearings, before seating it in a cartridge. This process shows the production at a more significant scale, in a workshop environment rather than, say, around a kitchen table. The second video shows a demonstration of the rounds being fired from an AK-74. In the video, the combatant recommends not using the rifle's standard muzzle brake, in fear of the Buckshot striking it. The combatant then empties a magazine of Buckshot, though it's difficult to make out if the entire magazine is Buckshot or if it's a mix. The video then shows the target downrange, a sheet of metal perforated with a significant dispersal pattern.
Эти даже точнее были. Вот видим, засыпано было здесь. Ну, я сейчас бил пониже. Засыпало вот это все, вот как видим, вот что с жестянкой происходит. Прошивает верно.
A subsequent post on another Russian Telegram channel shared on the 3rd of December included the earlier videos along with a couple of photographs of a pair of jungle-taped magazines, alternately loaded with Buckshot and a mix of ball and what appears to be black-tip armor-piercing 7N22. Interestingly, the post suggests that the alternated non-Buckshot rounds clean the bore of any residue from the plastic sleeving. The most recent sighting of the Buckshot at the time of recording on the 6th of December were published on the 5th of December. They include a range video which demonstrates the Buckshot, with the caption claiming that from 14 rounds fired, there are 41 punctures in the target. The target itself appears to be about 25 feet or 8 meters away. It's also worth noting that in this video, the rifle's muzzle brake has been removed. In the replies to the post, a photo of some Buckshot rounds was shared, showing them alongside a length of the sleeving filled with shot and a bottle of Crossman ball bearings. The final video shared on the 5th of December again shows the typical production of homemade Buckshot rounds. This time, lead shotgun pellets are used rather than ball bearings. The caption of the video notes that it's essential to clean the rifle after using the Buckshot ammunition. It also notes that the main strength of the homemade ammunition is that it's simple and instantly on hand if a soldier carries a magazine loaded with it. Then he can quickly load and engage a drone. The development of homemade 5.45 Buckshot is certainly intriguing, and at short ranges, from the available imagery at least, appears to have some merit. It enables a combatant armed with an AK-74 to theoretically engage a drone with a potentially slightly improved hit probability, though they may have to operate with their muzzle brake permanently removed. Drones remain one of the key battlefield threats for combatants in Ukraine, but it's unlikely this ad hoc solution is effective against drones at ranges of more than 20 yards. The dispersion of the 5 to 7 shot is extremely unpredictable, given it's being fired from a rifle barrel and there's no choke. Many Russian posts also discuss the potential for damage to the rifle, and while it's certainly possible, especially when using steel BBs rather than lead shot, the user, however, is unlikely to be firing hundreds of rounds of Buckshot, especially given how time-consuming production appears to be. Fouling from the plastic cable sleeves used may also have detrimental effects and cause barrel obstructions. It's also unclear how reliable the round will feed given the varied projectile length and its lack of rigidity when feeding. Additionally, once in field conditions, significant temperature changes could impact the integrity of the plastic sleeves. Nevertheless, the idea is ingenious, but it illustrates how urgently defences against FPVs and other drones are needed by troops in the field. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this interesting. I certainly did. Keep an eye out for a future video where we'll take a look at one of the anti-drone muzzle devices I mentioned earlier in this video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. Please do share the video with friends, family, colleagues, enemies, anyone who might be interested. If you'd like to support the channel, please do consider supporting us via Patreon or check out the History of Weapons and War app. There's links to both of those in the description box below. Thanks again for watching. Catch you next time.